Welcome to this week's video email. Well, this video is a little later than planned, and actually, so was last week's. I managed to post both videos in the end, but not quite on time. So if you've been wondering where they'd gone, that's what's happened. It's not like me to be so unreliable, and I've been thinking about why it happened. I'd love to say something dramatic and exciting pulled me away, but really, it was just a touch of digital frustration last week, and this week, Saturday, my usual posting day, arrived just far too quickly. For this week's email, I'd planned to write about empathy, but Saturday morning came and went in the blink of an eye. Still, I'm here now and apologising for my tardiness. I actually had 3 empathic moments that I wanted to reflect on and share with you this week, all from different bits of the media, that spoke to me about how vital it is to nurture empathy in children from the very start. I might save 2 of them for another time, but perhaps I can just share one with you now. It comes from a book I've just finished reading called Wilding, which tells the story of a couple's decision to let their well-managed farmland literally return to nature. Their journey, which has been full of setbacks, surprises and quiet triumphs, is inspiring. One moment stood out. The author describes how a father and son, on horseback with 2 snapping dogs, decided to play at being cowboys, chasing a herd of their longhorn cattle through several fields. Several animals were injured and some had to be culled. She reflected on the deep lack of understanding of nature shown in that moment and traced it, in part, to the absence of empathy. Neither the father nor the teenage son could sense the fear of the animals they were chasing. The author suggested that empathy itself is something we often fail to teach or model consistently to young children as they grow. I know that isn't completely true. Many of us make concerted efforts to nurture empathy in the children we care for and teach. But is that enough? Perhaps that question doesn't just belong within educational settings, it belongs in us too. And with that in mind, perhaps the real lesson for me this week is to be a little more empathic towards myself as well as to others. Missing a Saturday isn't ideal, and it certainly doesn't sit well with me, but it's hardly a disaster in the overall scheme of things. And maybe it's a reminder that empathy begins with how we treat ourselves when things don't quite go to plan. If I can forgive myself for a late email or 2, maybe that's enough for this week. Thank you for your patience and your presence here. In the coming week, do you think you could manage to be a little more empathic towards yourself too? Wishing you a gentle week ahead, and thank you for watching. See you in the next one.